Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm.
Good afternoon,
Can you hear
actually.
me like this?
Yes, I can hear you. So, what we are doing is we are creating a breakout room for the second session. So,
Okay.
we will be moving you to the breakout room where we will move all the other participants for the second session. We are right now still on with our first
Okay.
session. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am?
Okay.
Okay. So, we can proceed with that and I'll move you to the other room. All right, ma'am?
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Nisha, ma'am, you can move ahead.
Okay, sure. So Dr. Anjan,
Hi. Yes, I'm here.
sir,
I'm
yes,
so sorry, my
please.
network. Acha, another thing is, as I'm trying to share, it says host has disabled attendee screen sharing.
Oh,
So
I
I think
see. Let me just check, sir.
okay, all
Nilangsha,
right.
ma'am.
Yeah, we are resolving the issue. Just give me 2 minutes. We are
Okay.
resolving the issue.
Okay, all right.
Hello, Amani, ma'am.
Hello.
Hi. Yes.
Uh, so, are we ready for our session?
Um, just give us a few minutes, ma'am.
Give me a few minutes. We are creating that session. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I said 2:45 for the second session. So just give me a few minutes. Okay.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Hi, do I go on with the
Yes,
with
yes, sir.
speaker? Okay. I hope you're able
And
to see my screen now. My screen now.
it is visible. Yes.
It is visible. All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Nisha. Okay. So as I was saying, the Nagas, they have this oral literature because they haven't recorded, and authenticity, basically is an abstract concept when it comes to folklore, because the folklore varies from clan to clan and from this village to village, from tribe to tribe as well. So even though there is a particular folklore, say for example the grasshopper and the crab, right, but the details, minor details or deviations might exist in the same folklore when it is narrated by one clan or the next clan. There will be differences, and there will be differences when the same story is narrated in a village and the other village the way it narrates it, right? So these minor deviations can exist. So authenticity is always a question when it comes to Naga folklore, as in there is no such authentic version of the folklore, but various versions of the same folklore that do exist. Each version is treated as the original for the specific group. Now, for example, if I'm from the Jamir clan, then the version of the folklore that my clan believes in is the original for me, which may not be the same for someone of another clan. So each version is treated original for the specific group. And Naga folklore is therefore very specific to a village, a tribe, a clan, or a community. So there is no so there is no. I'm sorry. Is someone asking a question or something?
No, sorry for that
Oh, okay,
interruption.
okay.
That
All right, all
happened.
right. No, it's okay. Okay. I thought my slides were not visible or something. Okay. So yeah, as I was saying, so there is, this folklore. Okay, it's very specific to a village, a tribe, a clan, or a community. There is no one fixed version that okay, this is the final version of the folklore. This is the original version. It's going to vary from clan to clan and community to community. To move on now, the role of AI in preserving, okay, our folklore, okay, Naga folklore. Basically, digitization of oral traditions using AI-powered transcription tools. Now, these AI-powered transcription tools, they help in a great extent because they record the folklore as it is being narrated by an elder or a community member, thereby preserving the most authentic version of the folklore that is possible. Because if a researcher were to go and ask the elder or the community member to narrate the story, and then the researcher wrote down the story, there is going to be a displacement of truth because it's one step away from the original version, right? There is a translator or transcriptor coming in place. But in AI powered transcription tools, what happens is that the originality of the language is preserved. One limitation of this, of course, is that the person has to speak in English because AI tools have not been developed so much to start recognizing Naga languages or Naga dialects. So the elders will still have to use English, okay? And then these tools would work, which again brings into the question of vocabulary because there are certain words in Naga languages, as the case in many languages, right? Which just do not have a direct translation or equivalent in English. So that, of course, is a problem. AI-driven translation to make folklore accessible to wider audiences. Now, when it comes to translation tools, right? If you talk about a school in Jamshedpur, which is called Church School Beldi. Now, we connected. Okay, the college that I work in. Okay, that's the college we connected with the school as a mode of a community engagement, okay, project. And what we did was we had a session on the exchange of folklore from Jamshedpur, that is the tribal community of Jamshedpur, and the tribal community of Nagaland. And what was done is because the folklore output from our state, of course, was in English, and theirs was primarily in Hindi. We used AI translation tools to translate this work, and thereby it was accessible to a wider audience as well. Text to speech and speech to text AI, of course, this we all are aware of. This text to speech and speech to text, it's a very helpful AI tool to preserve folklore, and that is being explored by various indigenous archives at this point. There is an archive called the Northeast Indigenous People Archive, which is owned by our college. Okay, that's our college. And we use extensive use of this text to speech and speech to text is done. Of course, another thing is that when this speech to text to a speech to text AI generation is done, it does need some editing in the form of punctuations and all of that. But otherwise, as I mentioned, it records the folklore very clearly. And of course, okay, machine learning for storytelling pattern. Now, as the story is being generated, these machine learning tools, they are able to segregate the folklore into various subgenres. So if they are able to track emotions, say it's a joyful one, it's a funny one, it has a lesson, or it's about vengeance, revenge. So these tools, they also help in categorizing folklore and putting them into categories. AI for recording Naga folklore. Now, speech recognition AI, it converts spoken folklore into text. Now, this is a screenshot of a classroom where we actually use this app, okay, this platform to convert spoken folklore into text. So we were connected with a community elder, and as he was giving the speech, as he was narrating the folklore, our AI generative software was able to capture it into text and thereby preserving it in the archives of the NEPA platform language. And of course, there's also the NLP, which, as I've mentioned, it structures and categorizes folklore not just in terms of genre, but also in terms of the topics or the lessons which they address. And of course, there's also AI-powered digital archives, which create structured repositories for stories. Now, this is something which is absent in our state as well. Okay, Nagaland, we have a rich culture and tradition of folklore, but when it comes to recording this folklore, there are, it's like this. Certain tribes, have, let's say, 100 folklores, but when it comes to PhD scholars recording these folklore or community elders, trying to transcribe some of this into books, out of the 100, maybe 50 folk stories get recorded because these are the popular folk stories. These are the ones which have carried on as the tribe's identity. But there are so many other folk stories which also get lost. So that is why we need digital archives, and these digital archives would immortalize, folklore, and it's AI driven because it helps categorize and also record the folklore pretty well. And of course, AI assisted audio and video documentation are NEPA software archive, of which we are a part of, or which I am a part of. Okay, this website, okay, NEPA website, it uses AI assisted video and audio documentation, wherein it kind of captures the essence of the folklore, as well as it makes an attempt to use the original language as much as possible. And moving on to the Naga community involvement in AI folklore projects, the main concern is that folklore does not it belongs to the tribes. These are the indigenous knowledge systems of the tribal communities, which have been used for generations to pass on moral instructions, to pass on knowledge to these to the tribes and their descendants. So it's very important and essential to involve the Naga community in preserving their stories or their folklore through AI. Now, this is basically engaging Naga elders and storytelling in AI development, in the sense that the authentic version of the story, and when I say authentic, again, I've explained that there is no such thing as authentic, but authentic varies from clan to clan, from village to village, and from community to community. So I think it's very crucial to also involve the Naga elders and storytellers to acknowledge their ownership and to have them involved, get them involved in the AI process. And there are certain groups in Nagaland which are already pursuing this. The picture which I have over here is that of the Hornbill Archive. This archive is located in Dimapur, and it's in the process of using AI to record digital stories that is narrated by the village elders. It's a slow process, of course, because our elders and community members don't just feel comfortable with getting their voices recorded and speaking out, and all of that. Yes, it does help. With the process and collaboration with linguists and historians for cultural accuracy. Another thing is that it's very important to also consult with linguists and historians to make sure that the version which is being recorded or being fed into the AI system is also accurate, right? It's also accurate, and there are no such whitewashed elements in the story itself. And of course, government and institutional support for AI folklore, folklore preservation. The thing is that when it comes to AI in the use in the preservation of folklore, it is an expensive process. And for states like Nagaland, which are just developing, which still struggle with internet and electricity, there is a greater need for financial support from government agencies and institutions. And this is something which would be very essential or important in preserving folklore through AI. And of course, open source AI models for cultural knowledge sharing. If you talk about the basic, AI generative tools, that is your Chat GPT or Gemini, these archives would also help in preserving. The only thing is that the context from which the stories would then be taken out from. Now, ethical considerations in AI based Naga folklore, okay, preservation. These are the ethical concerns which have been observed, okay, in the preservation of Naga folklore. And I'm going to highlight a few of them here. Now, ensuring cultural sensitivity and ownership. Now, even though AI might be presenting a story, say you go to the most basic AI platform, ChatGPT, and type, generate say for example, Ao Naga folklore for me, folktale for me. So the AI is going to do its process. It's going to run its pattern, okay, algorithm, and it's going to generate folklore for you. But when it comes to the ownership of the story, who exactly has the ownership? Because as I mentioned, each village has its own version of the folktale. So the version which ultimately appears on the screen is from which village? Is it from Pankti village, or it's from this village or that village. So that ownership is never acknowledged when it comes to AI. So I think that is another step which needs to be taken, is that ownership has to be acknowledged, definitely. And cultural sensitivity, basically it's avoiding whitewashing of the language. You talk about language itself. Language evolves, right? And sometimes we want to use familiar terms which people would be able to relate to and recognize, instead of using the antiquated or old language. But when it comes to folklore, there is a certain language component to it as well. We cannot just whitewash language and use really fluent Gen Z language per se. Now, when it comes to AI, though, AI sometimes fails at recognizing these language disparities. And if the prompt is given in such a way, then these language is rephrased and it's whitewashed, basically. So that is definitely an ethical concern when it comes to preserving folklore, Naga folklore through AI, avoiding AI generated distortions or biases. As I mentioned, there are of the same folk story in Naga culture, among the Naga tribes, there will be 10 versions of the same story, and certain tribes which live nearby, say, for example, Angamis and the Rengmas, they live closer. And so many of their folk stories overlap as well. Like the same folk story will exist for the Angamis also, for the Rengmas also, which means there will be 20 to 30 versions of the same folk story with minor deviations here and there. Now, when AI is recording or when it's giving the output, how many of these versions is it taking into account? And is it just giving a summative generative output? Is it just going to remove those distortions and give a summarized version of it? So that's where the authenticity or the originality of the story is also in question over here. Seeking consent from indigenous communities, yes, another important thing is because these stories are not written by a particular writer that we can go and approach them and like, hey, we're going to put you into AI, and we're going to use AI to conserve your folk story. So it's not really, it doesn't really work that way. These stories belong to a community. It's like this is something which runs through their identity itself. These folk stories define their identity. And so when it comes to using them in digital archives, because the step one of using AI is digitally converting them into digital forms, right? Be it audio or video, so on and so forth. So getting consent from the indigenous communities is very important. We have to acknowledge and accept the fact that the folklore does belong to them. We are just trying to conserve it. We do not have any right of asserting ownership of the folklore or the folk tale per se. Yes, we might have compiled it, we might have archived it, but ultimately the ownership does fall on the community leaders or the the whole community itself. Balancing technology with traditional storytelling methods. Now, folktale, I mean, yes, of course, we can read it out of a book and everything, but in Naga culture, there's this whole practice or this whole cultural practice of storytelling, where storytelling was a very essential part of the Naga social life. You had these morungs, you had the whole essence of grandmothers narrating stories. Now, that is in part being lifted out because the old community structure does not exist. Like morungs don't really exist, and people in Nagaland go to schools instead of going to morungs. For those of you who might not know, okay, morung is basically like the ashram sort of a thing where young Naga boys would go and learn everything about their tribe and culture and heritage. It was like a school sort of a structure. Now, in the absence of this, of course, this storytelling practice is now moving away. But even then, AI, it would be, one thing is that AI could integrate these traditional storytelling practices, wherein the pattern and mode of delivery remains consistent with the way in which traditionally these stories have been narrated, and of course, avoiding commercial exploitation. Yes. Now, this is very important. Few months ago, there was a book exhibition in Kanpur, and I was visiting Kanpur for a conference, and it was called this Naga Folk Tales Compiled. Okay, and it was by this. If I'm not mistaken, the writer was Sharma, if I'm not mistaken. And I was curious because the writer was not from Nagaland, or neither in his credentials that was mentioned on the back cover. I couldn't see his name. I could not see that he has worked in Nagaland or he has studied in Nagaland. So I was curious. I mean, I'm not saying that someone who is not from Nagaland cannot compile Naga folk stories. Of course they can. But when I opened the book and I read a few lines, it was so obvious, painfully obvious, that it is from AI. It basically prompts typed into Chat GPT, and the text has been generated using Chat GPT, because certain words, say for example, if you talk about Chat GPT, we are teachers, we know our students use platforms like Chat GPT. Certain words, okay, Tapestry, for example. Tapestry is a telltale sign of ChatGPT. If it comes into regular language or regular conversation, it's basically that, certain words, certain markers are there. So it was very obvious that the person has used AI or he has copied from another book, but basically authenticity is the question. So avoiding commercial exploitation would be very important, because so far the stories have been preserved in the communities itself. Putting them into AI platform means giving them international access, and so there should be a method, or there should be a rule in which commercial exploitation should be avoided. And of course, the ultimate goal should be making sure of sustainability and long-term access.
Dr.
I'll
Ranjan,
conclude with this.
it's my request to please read out the conclusion because it is more
Yes, this
than
is the conclusion.
minutes.
Yes, this
Thank
slide is this slide is the conclusion, and the last line is this. Okay, sustainability and long-term access. Basically, when you talk about preserving, folklore, what becomes important is to sustain the essence of the folklore, the identity of the tribe and the community which it belongs to, and also make sure to give it long-term to make sure that the indigenous identity stays on. Okay, so with this I shall end my slides. I hope I did not exceed the time limit, and I'm so grateful that my internet connection was also fine throughout. Okay, thank you so much. My presentation will.
Thank you, Dr. Anjan. Over to Dr. Shweta. Ma'am, please.
Dr. Ranjan, your topic is actually very interesting, and I
Thank you,
find out
ma'am.
that you connected this with the AI, right?
Yes,
That's why
ma'am.
it creates more interest into it. But
Mhm.
you did a secondary or a case study related work over it, right? You did not work
It's
for the
it's a
primary
work in
data,
progress. Yes, yes, it's a work
right?
in progress. Right,
Hmm.
right. I'm still
But
working on collecting more, information about this topic. So what I presented was my initial study, of course. But yes, definitely, I would need to include much more, background study on it. Correct.
right, right. If you add the primary data, then definitely this paper will be go in a very good level. I can say, you can go for the publication of the Scopus and Q1 also because it is very
Thank you.
unique topic,
Thank you so
right?
much, ma'am.
Thank you
Mhm.
so much, Dr. Anjan.
Okay, ma'am.
So now we will move on to the next participant, and then we do have DGMC 17, Miss Rati Ranade. Miss Rati, are you there? Miss Rati? Okay, seems she is not there, so we will move on to the next participant, DGMC 24, registration number DGMC 24, Sangeeta Jalu. Miss Sangeeta?
1 minute, Nisha ma'am. Rati is unable to unmute, so I'm making her. Yeah, Rati Ranade is here.
Okay.
Ma'am, can you try? Because I made you the co-host, so you can unmute.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Am I
let
audible?
me share.
Hello.
Yes,
Ma'am,
we
I'm
can
audible,
hear
right?
you.
Okay.
Yes, you
Yes,
are
ma'am.
audible.
You're audible.
Okay. Okay. I'm just trying to present my share my screen.
You can share your screen now. I've just made you the co-host. Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
it is visible. Yes, please go
Yes.
ahead.
Okay, ma'am. Um, okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Rati Ranade, a research scholar at Ascendity Women's University. Building on the insight from yesterday's and today's successful panel discussion on the responsible use of technology, it is evident that when leveraged thoughtfully, technology can greatly benefit society. On that note, my research focuses on advancing adaptive clothing designed for female with Down syndrome, emphasizing the integration of body scanning technology and AI-driven software. I'm sincerely grateful to Deviprasad Goenka College for giving me this opportunity to share my work and contribute to this important dialogue. To start with, I would like to explain what is Down syndrome. It is a genetic condition caused by the presence of extra copy of chromosome 21, also known as trisomy 21. It affects the physical growth, intellectual development, and sometimes it also leads to health issues in females with Down syndrome. An estimate suggests that around 1 in 800 people or live births in India result in Down syndrome. That is around 48 to 50% of them are actually female affected by Down syndrome. Individuals with Down syndrome often face challenges in finding well-fitting, comfortable, and functional clothing due to their unique body proportions, sensory developments, they do have sensory sensitivities and have mobility concern. Like they have shorter limbs, shorter height, broader neck, broader head shape, shorter arms, broader hands, and legs being disproportionately short. Females with Down syndrome particularly require adaptive clothing that not only ensures ease of wear but also support their physical and emotional well-being. This research will contribute to the growing field of designing inclusive fashion and assist designers, manufacturers, and caregivers in developing practical solutions for advancement in technology. This study aims to bridge the gap between accessibility and style, empowering females with Down syndrome with clothing that enhances daily lives so that consumers can dress independently and hence boost their confidence. There are few brands in India that are already working for individuals with disabilities. For example, Aram Se, Cocoon by Old is Gold, Movability Clothing from Kottayam, Curability from Mumbai, to name a few, are catering to disability issues. However, focus on exclusive Down syndrome clothing is yet to be developed. Traditional clothing design relies on standardized size charts that do not account for the unique anthropometric characteristics of female with Down syndrome. Poor fit, discomfort, and lack of inclusive design lead to limited clothing choices and reduce confidence. There is a need for an innovative approach that integrates advanced technology to create personalized and functional clothing solutions. Incorporating AI into adaptive clothing design for women with Down syndrome can improve comfort, independence, and accessibility. AI-driven body scanning and 3D modeling can ensure personalized fit. Smart fasteners will aid self-dressing. AI can optimize fabric usage to reduce cost and wastage, making clothing more functional and inclusive and sustainable. We conducted a virtual case study. This case study focuses on Nitilo 3D body software and Clo3 software to create adaptive clothing for female with Down syndrome. We laid down few research objectives like, firstly, to analyze the specific body measurements and proportions of female with Down syndrome using 3D body scanning technology by Nitilo. Then, to explore the role of AI software Clo3D in generating personalized and adaptive clothing pattern based on collected data. Next, to develop design solutions that enhance comfort, functionality, and independence in clothing choices for female with Down syndrome. And lastly, to access the feasibility and acceptability of AI-assisted adaptive clothing design within the Indian context. The methodology used in this study included anthropometric data collection, AI-driven pattern development, prototype development, and lastly, the user trial and feedback. This is a workflow of how we conducted this study. It was there were few steps which were taken care of while conducting the study. Firstly, a survey and data collection was done with ethical consideration. The conducted survey was done over 30 to 50 adult females with Down syndrome. Participants were asked to take a full body picture using Nitilo app. A mid sample was selected for analysis. Secondly, body type analysis were done. Majority of participants had oval or diamond body shape and short height. Thus, no standard chart could fit them properly. The data was used to define the sample body type for the study. Next, a 3D avatar was developed. Nitolo app converted body matrix of participants into a 3D avatar. The avatar was exported in OBJ format and shared with Clo3D.
This is what I shared.
Further refinements were made. Hello. Further refinements were made using Clo3D avatar editor to ensure accuracy. Next, a virtual clothing fit testing was done. The traditional clothing designs were tested virtually on Down syndrome avatar, and observation showed up poor fit, highlighting the need of adaptive clothing design. Next, adaptive clothing designs in Cloth 3D were developed. A 2D pattern for adaptive clothing was created in Cloth 3D, and design modification included first like fasteners like zippers for easy wearability. We could substitute it with velcros and snap button, but here we used zippers. Loose A-line silhouette was used for comfort and accessibility, and the aim was to improve self-dressing and undressing. Next, a virtual testing and refinement was done to identify an issue in wearing, movability, overall fit, and after virtual testing, necessary adjustments were made to the design. Next, experts and caregiver feedback was taken. It was gathered from experts and caregivers regarding functionality, aesthetics, and ease of use. And lastly, a market feasibility study was done, which evaluated the practicality and demand for adaptive clothing, considered factors like cost, production, and accessibility in the market. And we concluded that there is a huge need for adaptive clothing for people with specific need. These are the 2D patterns that were created on Cloth 3D. And then the virtual testing was done on the Down syndrome 3D avatar. The key finding included that the integration of Nitrillo 3D scanning and Cloth 3D design significantly improved garment customization and fit accuracy. Traditional clothing design failed to accommodate the unique proportions of individuals with Down syndrome, whereas adaptive clothing provided a better fit and improved ease of movement. Virtual testing reduced the need for multiple physical prototypes, enhancing efficiency in adaptive clothing design. And lastly, the digital workflow enabled a more inclusive and personalized approach to garment development for individuals with Down syndrome. Next, we did a comparative traditional garment development with AI incorporated process and observed that though initial investment of AI may be high, but there will be substantial reduction of cost over the period of time. However, the traditional process is still comparatively costly. Secondly, the wastage is more in traditional process, whereas virtual testing eliminates this issue, as we can test the overall look and drape of garment and ensure customer satisfaction way before actual production. And thirdly, multiple designs can be tested, therefore better customer satisfaction as we give more choices of design. These are certain literature review that I followed during this process, and here are few references that we included. Lastly, I would like to thank everyone for giving me this opportunity to introduce the advent of fashion technology by incorporating artificial intelligence and making adaptive clothing more inclusive and accessible for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rati. And Ma'am Shweta, please take your
Yes,
time.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Dear, your presentation is very good. At the end, you mentioned it that you belongs to the designing one part, and definitely this AI will help you in designing and make the things easy for designing these kinds of uh, problems we are facing. And it is very easy to just mention. You can scan the body, or you can just mention your body. Design to the AI, and they will give you the 3D effect, or maybe future they will give you the 5D effect uh, clothing things to you. So definitely it is a very good one part. You did a very good part in your research, that is your comparatively analysis between different clothings. So that is the best part in your research paper.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
So moving on. Next, we do have DGMC 24, Miss Sangeeta Jalui. Miss Sangeeta, seems she is not there. Then DGMC 18, Ashwini B. Nair. Miss Ashwini Nair. Ma'am, please take your time. Yes.
Try to share my screen. It says disabled. I'm not able to share my screen. It says host disabled participants screen.
Usha ma'am, Like, sorry. Actually, we are working on that. Please give us a second. You can please go ahead. It has been enabled.
Okay.
Please share your screen here.
But it still says that disabled.
But there. Okay, let me
I've
check.
just made you the co-host, Ashwini. Please try.
Try once again, please.
Now I can. Yes. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, it's visible. Yes. Please start.
Yeah, thank you. So good afternoon. I'm Ashwani B. Nair. I'm a PhD scholar from Madras School of Social Work. My co-authors are Madhuvanti and Satyamurthy sir, who's my guide as well. My research topic is with regard to the effectiveness of AI-based learning tool for autistic children, a study on special educators. So, with regard to the introduction, the study basically focuses on the AI tools that is being implemented or used by the special educators to teach autistic children with autism spectrum disorder. With UNESCO and global organizations like UNESCO and National Education Policy from India, as well as because my study is basically on Tamil Nadu and Chennai. I wanted to focus or study on the Tamil Nadu aspects also. So yes, our government is also emphasizing on AI-driven adaptive learning technologies for these children. So that has also been included in this. With regard to the literature reviews, global trends are empowering speech recognition softwares, adaptive learning platforms, and things, AI tools for these children. It has also been mentioned that tools like Nano and Qt Robot have implemented or helped in these areas to help the children's social engagement and communication. Challenges with regard to the AI adaptations in literature review as well, I could see it was the high cost or lack of training with regard to the teachers on these AI tools, because it is an emerging area for the teachers. The tools which they basically use are Google speech to text and VR interventions, visual and auditory tools, which is helping these children to get more communication or learn the concepts much easier. So with regard to my methodology, I have studied among the 103 special educators. It was randomly selected. I have used structured interview and the research has been descriptively analyzed. So with regard to my analysis, the demographic details says that 90% of the special educators were female. Even with my practical knowledge, they are mostly female because most of the time I could understand that the parents who have children with a disability are most keen to special education and they are on basically in this field. With regard to that, 33% are 10 years and over experienced. 47 say were from the special education background. 47% of the educators said that they are not much, they are moderately aware with regard to the AI tools. 41% said they are not at all using, and only hardly with regard to 3.9 were using them on the daily basis. AI tools were basically used for the communication and speech therapy aspects. With regard to the usage, 18% of the educators reported that it has helped them to enhance the children's communication skills, as well as it has also helped in the social interactions. So the social communications or the interactions has helped because of this AI intervention. 13% of the teachers said that the students, it has helped to boost the students' engagement and attention focus were also being boosted. 13% mentioned improvement in the motor skills, which was because they, with the AI tools, they could easily communicate their needs and wants. So that has improved with regard to their motor skills. And they have also said they saw a reduction in behavioral challenges because easily they could communicate their needs. With regard to the teachers' perception on the AI effectiveness, they said 43% reported there is a slight increase in children's engagement in the classroom as well as interaction with the teachers. Basic concern has also been mentioned. It is with regard to the increased in screen dependency. Even with the other children, the screen dependency is more, but still this AI introduction has given more increased dependency in AI screen for these children as well. Human interactions, apart from the teachers, the human interactions were seen as reduced. One of the benefits that they saw is enhanced in communication with regard to their needs and wants, and it also helped in the social skills. With regard to the barriers which the special educators felt in order to get AI tools or to work on the AI tools was the high cost of AI tools. The 24% said it is high cost. Limited accessibility because majority of the schools are not still supporting the AI tools. So there was limited accessibility in schools because it is a paid version kind of things. So schools were not supporting that. Lack of training and technical support was also a challenge for the teachers to implement the AI tools. These are some of my suggestions. So it is like awareness and orientations is needed for the teachers. Teachers should be trained with regard to the recent AI tools, gradual implementation and the balance of screen timing, because as we know that autism spectrum disorder is a spectrum disorder where the communication, behavior challenges and other aspects do hinder the child. So it should be gradually introduced and it should be supported by the institutions. The school should be giving support to the teachers to implement or introduce AI tools. It should be personalized. The tools, whichever is being given for the AI, given for the children, should be personalized. So it should be continuously evaluated and tracked. The efficiency of the AI tools, which is given to the individual child, should be monitored continuously. With regard to the development of the tool, developers, educators, the social policy makers should be collaboratively included in these aspects. So with regard to my conclusion, the study reveals that the potential benefits and critical challenges associated with the AI tools. It also explains with regard to the efficiency. It has helped in communication, cognitive development, and engagement of the children. But still, it is a barrier for the special educators to reach to the AI tools to give the complete potential of the AI tools. It is because mainly of the high cost, inefficient trainings given to these people, and they have also mentioned with regard to the data privacy, equitable access to the response and responsible AI implementations is very crucial and effective. With regard to the future aspect, there should be a focus on the long-term impact of the tools, which I was already mentioning. The efficiency or effectiveness or the impact should be timely monitored and evaluated, and it should change according to the individualized plan of the child. And for that, collaboration should be taken from the educators, policymakers, and AI tool developers. So yes, and these are the references that I have taken. So yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Ashwini. And Shweta ma'am,
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
over to you. Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Ashwini, I find out that you focused on the mainly for the educators, which is special educators in Chennai, right? It's a true fact that we are having a lack of knowledge about AI. Definitely, it's a new revolution. So people are not aware about it properly. That's why they all are facing these kinds of problems. That along with that, maybe it is not related on the high cost, because definitely high cost give you the more detailed or specific information. But if you are aware about, or you are taking any kind of workshop related to AI, you can use the free parts also of that AI also, so you can work on it. Definitely the one point is very good, that everyone needs a workshop or awareness related to AI, right? Another point, you can also include the students perspective also into your research paper. This will give you more enhancement in your research paper. It's my suggestion. Or you can do another way, you can write another research paper, you can include the perspective of students also over there, right? Thank you, Ms. Ashwani.
Thank you. Actually, one thing is there is a challenge to study the impact of the children, because mostly the children will be not that responsive to the questions that we as people, researchers are with regard to that matter. Maybe from the parents we can take, but that is the one challenge as a research scholar I am also facing. Like we can't
You,
directly
in
get.
that case, you can go with the focus group discussion with them. You can select some few students and you can go with the focus discussion over there. They will give you the answers over there when you are friendly with them. So don't go with the Google Forms or questionnaire. Then you can easily go for the focus group discussion, right? Thank you so much, dear.
Thank you. Okay, then moving ahead, let us see if DGMC 33, Dr. Pragati Paul, if she is there, or DGMC 0, Mishra, Miss Ashna Mishra, or Miss Sangeeta Jalui. Since these participants are not present, so I think we can end our session over here. So thank you everyone for presenting your papers in this technical session, AI in Healthcare, Society and Sustainability. And Shweta ma'am, Dr. Shweta Gaur, thank you so much for taking care of the session. And yes, now there is this request for everyone to join at 4 o'clock, because we will be having our next program at 4 o'clock, and even the journal also that will be revealed. So hope to see everyone again at 4 o'clock, sharp 4 o'clock. So see you there, and thank you everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Shweta ma'am. Yes. On behalf of DGMC College and Asset Management, we really thank you for joining us for this session and sparing your invaluable time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Dr. Arvinder, can you please start sharing your screen?
Ma'am, can I start? Like,
No, you
ma'am,
just
at time?
start sharing the screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, welcome to the main session. Yeah, we can start now. Divya ma'am, over to you.
All right. Yes, Dr. Arvinder, you can start the presentation.
Yes, ma'am, I'm starting just 1 minute.
Yes. You have 7 minutes.
Ma'am,
Are
is
you
it
able
visible?
to
Is it
share?
visible?
No, ma'am, it's not.
I have shared just 1 minute.
Hello, Lamia ma'am. How are you?
Hello, Dr. Amivora. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
We met before through the email and WhatsApp just only, yeah?
Yes.
It's nice to meet you.
Yes.
Dear Dr. Amani, Dr. Amivora is the dean, yeah? And Dr. Amani is the dean of our faculty.
Yes. Yes. I know. We heard her address in the inaugural function. Thank you.
Yeah.
How
Nice
is our
to meet
student?
you.
Nice meeting you.
Is he still with you all? Ismail, is he teaching with you? Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you. Yeah.
I was just wondering to know whether Ismail is still teaching with you.
Who?
Who connected me to you, Ismail?
Ismail, no, he's in business faculty, not
Is it-
in mass media, yeah.
Yeah.
He's business faculty, yeah, not with us yet.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Gayatri, ma'am?
there
Yeah.
is something showing, it is denying me from my apps. Ma'am, can I share with you, ma'am?
Yes, you can. I have
Okay,
shared
ma'am,
my
I'm
email
sharing.
ID. I'll the screen.
Ma'am, in email, there will be an issue because it is in a heavy file. So, if, ma'am, can I
WhatsApp?
share in WhatsApp? Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please do that.
Okay, ma'am.
Dr. Mrunal, are you ready with your presentation? Dr. Mrunal,
Yes, ma'am.
are you able to share the screen, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Please start sharing the screen.
Okay.
Yeah. Gayatri, ma'am, you please send. I'll share.
Ma'am, I have shared with the ma'am in
Yeah,
the
we can
WhatsApp.
see
I
it
have
now. Yeah.
All right, you just wait. Omani ma'am and the Maya ma'am, now we are taking Dr. Mrunal and Sifi Seju's presentation, serial number 5, and their topic is Developing AI Literacy in Education. Serial number 5. Please note.
Ma'am, is our voice audible?
Can they start, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear? Is it audible?
Yes, ma'am. Amani ma'am, can they start the presentation? Lamia ma'am, Amani ma'am, can we start the
Yeah.
presentation?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, sure. Yes, we're waiting for it. Yeah.
Yeah, please start.
Looking forwards.
So, a very good afternoon to all the eminent members gathered here and to all the participants here. My name is Sifi, and I feel so privileged to work on this research on the topic of developing AI literacy in education, a framework for teacher professional development under the guidance of my professor Rahul Anke sir and my co-researchers Mrinal Mule and Kunal Gaikwad, all representing the MIT World Peace University. So, to begin, we all know that we are living in an increasingly digital world where technology has been seamlessly integrated into our lives. And today, technology, more than a need, it has become a way of life. So, it is very necessary that the educators should be equipped with the necessary knowledge and skills that is needed to drive the students through an AI driven future. So here now, when we look into the presentation, we can see a report of the Maharashtra Digital School findings. And according to the report, the screen time usage of the teachers on an average, that's on a weekly basis, was found to be 75%, mostly for lesson delivery and secondly for lesson preparation. Now, what can we make out from this? There is a growing significance of the use of technology in the educational field over the years. And the government has also laid a lot of emphasis on AI literacy in education through NEP policy. And in this year's Union budget of 2025 to 26, the Indian government had allocated 500 crores for a special AI center for education. So this is the reason why we took the topic of AI literacy among educators as a research, because it is growing in the field of education nowadays, and we have created a competency framework for the teachers for the same. Now, when we come to the objectives of our research, our first objective was to explore a teacher's perception and understanding of AI literacy in education. Secondly, it was to identify the challenges that the teachers would face while integrating AI literacy into their professional development. And the third one would be to develop a framework for teachers on AI literacy. Now I'd like my co-researcher, Mrinal ji, to continue with the research.
Thank you so much, Sissy. Now, scope of the research. The finding of the study will be useful for policymakers to get existing scenario of AI literacy of the teachers. It will also help the educational institution to use the framework for teacher education program. It will help the curriculum framers to design lessons which will integrate AI tool with the pedagogies. Limitations of our research as a data collected and conclusions drawn are dependent upon the 150 plus responses given by the participants. The tool developed for the data collection is not standardized one. This research is beyond the control in terms of the teacher's interest, attitude, motivation, and environmental factors. The limitations are, the study is only delimited to 150 plus teachers in Maharashtra state of India. The study is also delimited to the teachers of elite school. The research method which we used is a descriptive study method. Sampling technique is a purposive sampling technique. Sample size was designed as a 100, but it's reached up to 150 plus we get samples. Tool for data collection as questionnaire, in which each objective we designed 15 questions, and the data analysis tool was percentage and qualitative analysis. Now over to CP. Thank you.
So now I would like to talk about the findings as per our objectives. So as stated before, our first objective was to explore teachers' perception and understanding of AI literacy in education. And our finding was that, according to the chart, when asked how familiar are you with the concept of AI, only 16.6% of the teachers were actually familiar with the concept of AI. And when asked which of the AI tool was mostly used by the teachers in education field, we can see that the teachers opted for Google Classroom with AI integration, almost 44.8% teachers. So this shows that there was a limited knowledge of AI tools among the educators. So this was our finding of the first objective. When we go to the second objective, it was to identify the challenges that the teachers would face while integrating AI literacy into their professional development. And we could find that more than 0.5% of the teachers, they told that there was a lack of teacher training programs which did not allow them to integrate AI effectively in teaching. So the chart is shown here. Almost 35.2% teachers had told about the lack of proper training programs. 28.3% teachers told there was a limited understanding on how to use AI tools. 19.3% of the teacher faced the challenge of moral risk associated with AI. And 11% of the teachers told that there was a lack of access to AI tools and resources. Now, when we come to the third objective, keeping all this in mind of what the educators had given to the questionnaire, we decided to make a framework for teachers on AI literacy. So I would like to share that framework on the screen. I hope the framework is visible. This is the framework that we created. And through this framework, we expect the educators to go through 5 basic domains before starting to integrate technology in classrooms. So the first domain that we have stated is the basics of AI. They are first supposed to know the fundamental concepts of AI, the experiential learning of AI tools, that is how to practically use it in the class, the creative AI, that is in what all ways can AI be used, the educational challenges of AI, and also the risks of AI. The risk of AI was actually stated by our esteemed member yesterday, Ritesh Bhatia sir, while he was in the meeting yesterday. So these were the domains that we listed out. And in order to achieve this, we have 3 steps. First, discover it, then practice it in the education field, and finally to champion it. So this was our framework, and along with this, we have also included some AI tools, understanding that teachers had a limited knowledge of AI tools, along with the descriptions of it and the uses in the educational field, as being shown on the screen now. Almost 29 tools that were relevant in educational field was listed down. And also we have made flowcharts on how to access each of these tools. So this was our objective. And to conclude, I would like to say that AI education, it is taking over the world like anything else. And what we can do as educators is that we should be equipped with a particular knowledge and skills that is needed to drive the students through an AI-driven future. And the policies like NEP policies, UNESCO, and schemes like Viksit Bharat also emphasizes on the need for integration of technology in education field. And I would like to conclude by the statement that AI in education, it is not about replacing teachers, but it is about enhancing learners. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sifi, Siju, and Dr. Mrunal. Now I'll request Dr. Amani and Dr. Lamia for their comments.
Do you want to start, Dr. Amani?
Anyone can.
You are muted, Dr. Amani. Please unmute to hear you.
Okay, Dr. Lamia, go ahead and then I will follow you. Okay.
Okay. I like the research so much because it's very relevant nowadays, okay? That it's an important subject, aligning with global discussion on integrating AI in teaching. You have strengths points in its clear research objectives. The paper set clear goals, assessing AI literacy among teachers, identifying challenges, and proposing a framework.
Yes.
Also, the framework development, the proposed AI literacy framework is well structured, outlining there's 5 key domains: basics of AI, experimental learning, creative AI, educational challenges, and risks. I like also the 3 progression levels like discover, practice, and champion. On the practical recommendations, the framework suggests how teachers can improve AI literacy through structured competency building. Also, use of real data. A survey of 100 school teachers adds empirical support of the findings. But I have a weakness point here. I will tell it after that. For the ethical considerations, the paper highlights risks, including bias, privacy concerns, and responsible AI use. I can't say its weakness points, but it's just a point of view here. For the methodological limitation, there's a sampling issue that the study uses purposive sampling, which may lead to bias. Okay, please try to use a more randomized, would improve reliability. Okay, sample size of 100 teacher is relatively small for broad conclusion. We need to widen the sample. The study assumed that all teachers lack AI literacy without addressing variables like subject, region, experience level. Okay. I have some recommendations. Use larger or randomized sample, it will be more accurate. Okay, improve AI tools evaluation, provide practical steps for integrating AI literacy into teaching training programs. It will be more effective. Overall, the paper covers an important topic with practical framework, but we need some methodological strengths. That's my comment, and thank you for your research paper. I really feel it's very important nowadays. Thank you so much. Dr. Amani.
Thank you, Dr. Lamia, for this commenting. I agree with you on all the points that you have raised, especially the points related to methodology, and this shows how strong a researcher you are. Thank you very much. I would like also to thank the authors for this important topic. This is a research that I can imagine that is taken a lot of work, a lot of effort. This is very obvious. What I admired about this research very much is the mixed methodology that you have used. The quantitative usually is supported with the qualitative data. This makes us able to deepen more, and this is what you have efficiently done. So this is a good piece of research. There are a few variables that I wish to have seen in your research as well. I think this could have been an addition. So if you can add it, especially in the qualitative, before you have the final copy of research, that will be, I guess, maybe better. So the teacher's readiness, you haven't touched that area. And the research, your research needs this adaptability point, especially, I guess, in your country. It's likewise in our country as well. Some portion of the teachers are not ready yet to apply those AI techniques. Also, the equity and the accessibility of the technology. This is, I guess, an issue that if it's raised in such research, it will enrich the data. Again, maybe the quantitative, not only the qualitative, as I said before. So now, not all students or teachers have equal access to AI-driven education, and this is a big issue in our societies, and still is. Okay, so this can also widen the digital gap or the digital divide, which unfortunately I still see in the literature up till now and in the results of so many studies. Also, the third issue that also maybe would empower this research is the dependence on technology, because this will take us a shift away from the human-driven education. If we emphasize this point in this important research of yours, Ms. Morley and Ms. Sifi Mari, then I guess this will help to pinpoint the title of your research, and we will shed also more light on the variables of your research, which are highly important. Also, dealing with the critical thinking about the problems of solving skills in students and how to provide the technical assistance. This might be also a better area to investigate, and this can't happen without learning exactly the areas where they miss the skills, you know. And I don't want to talk long, but I want to thank you for this research. I would like to thank my colleague, Dr. Lamia Semah, for her very good commenting, and good luck to you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now we are going to take Dr. Arvinder and Gayatri Kumari's presentation. Dr. Arvinder, I'm sharing the...
Ma'am, yes, ma'am, please share my presentation.
Yes, I'm sharing that. I hope the screen is visible.
Not visible yet. Yeah.
Now
Still
it
black
is?
screen. Now it's visible.
Can you
File
please
is
put
very
it on
heavy.
that animation mode?
Animation mode, just a minute.
The last button on the screen, that is with the window and the play button. By clicking on that, it will start on the animation. Above the insert, there is one option which is in the icon form.
Where, ma'am, just a minute. Slide wala, ये वाला option, ये वाला.
Yes, ma'am.
This one? Now,
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
just a minute. Stop
Yes, ma'am.
sharing.
Just tap it once.
Just a minute.
Ma'am, the PPT is not being shown on the screen.
Ma'am, we are trying that, but it seems file is very heavy. There is some issue. Just a minute. Yes, just a minute. जाके देखो. Okay, करके जाके देखो, change हो रहा है slide. Yes, so play without animation. Tell her it will play without animation. Yes. Then we cannot do animation. You can change. She can ask you. Ma'am, I think we are not able to play the animation. You will have to take it.
Okay, ma'am. I will do without animation only.
Yeah,
Kindly
if
share
you
the
can do
screen.
at your end, you can do that, but we are not able to do that. So please
Yes,
start the
ma'am. So,
presentation.
ma'am, kindly share the screen so that the other participants can see it.
Yeah, ma'am. It's visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes,
you
no,
can
it's
start.
So basically, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Gayatri, and I'm basically a pre-service student in Manavashna University. So the topic that I'm covering is artificial intelligence in teaching learning process. First, we will see the objectives that are. First, we will look understanding the role of AI, like how it is impacting today's education. Second, we will analyze the benefits of AI in learning. Third one will be examining the AI's impact on educators. Fourth one will be addressing the ethical and security concerns. And the last but not the least is explore the future implications and the best practices. Moving to the introduction, as we all know, what is AI? AI is basically a tool which mimics the human activities for performing the day-to-day life, which helps in personalized learning. It helps the individual to know their own strategies, to know their own content, and learn at their own personal level. Automation, it helps individual to do the task automatically. As a result, it has enhanced the engagement. When we come to the AI in education, The one thing which we can clearly see, the Gurukul system, the Asian system, and the modern AI system. When we thought of Gurukul, it was basically teacher focused. It was teacher centered, where teacher used to deliver the content, the information, and teacher was the sage on the stage. But in today's era, now the teaching is two-way communication, where the children feels included, the personalized learning, and easy and effective use of resources is available to them. When we come to revolutionized, how AI is revolutionizing the teaching process, then we come to the first point, that is gamified learning, which shows that there are many educational apps which are helping the students to learn maths and science. As we know that these subjects are the ones which student at the personal level faces difficult, not because these subjects are, but as they are a lack of practical activity during this subject, which makes the concepts more clear. For this gamification, there are several apps such as Quizlet. Then we come to instant feedback. For example, there are quizzes on which they can assess their knowledge and get the instant feedback regarding what are their weak points and what are their strengths as well. Such toolbacks are Socratic and Photomaths. Then we come to the next is, that is visualizing the concept. When we think of just remembering the books, it feels difficult for us. But it is very easy when we will visualize this concept. This is done through the AI very easily. The apps like PHTET and GeoZebra are used widely. Next is personalized learning. Personalized learning, as we all know, each individual is different from other. Their learning needs, their strength, their weaknesses, and the way to interact depends upon each capabilities and interest. For that, there are certain apps which helps a lot in students' personal development and academic as well. For the personal learning, the Smart Take and Datingo are used. Then we come to learning. As we have seen, the AI has revolutionized the teaching methods. I recall of the schoolhood days, I easily can see the phonetics. As an individual, in our primary ages, the foundational AI, which is the core of our education, we rarely let the focus on the phonetics. Like the phonetics part is always neglected, or very few stress or the importance is given on the phonetics part. As a result, whenever we usually recall of our schoolhood days, when teacher asks us to read aloud the lesson, the word which we are familiar with, we can read it in a one go. But the words which we lack or we have heard it from the first time, we hesitate, like how to pronounce it. We are looking for some external help. I think it should be uh, in such a way that an individual it feels familiar even if the word is being addressed to them for the first time, and this can be easily with by focusing on the phonetic aspects. And there are many apps which are used widely. The few of them are Duolingo, ABC, and Reading Eggs, which are helped a number of readers to enhance their phonetic skills, and now without any hesitation they can read or they can participate, they can comprehend the word easily. But as we all know, each coin has two sides, so as the AI in education. Challenges: the lack of technology, as many schools prefer to use AI, but they lack in their resources. Then, too much dependency on AI. When we think of AI, people rely on AI. For instance, in our days, we used to look for any project. We used to go for libraries, ask for teachers, ask for their mentors, their guidance, that which book we should refer, which paper we should study. But now, what we are doing is we are simply texting the prompt in the Google or in the Chat GPT, and we are just copying it. For instance, if any homework is assigned, all the tasks which we are assigning to ChatGPT, the prompt is given, the result is in front of us, and the student usually just copy it. They have completed the assignment without even knowing that what they have written in it. Then come privacy and security concerns, which basically as there's lack of teacher training, due to which teacher also at the end are not secure to use these AI apps. Ethical issues is there. But when we come like AI is can be used as a subordinate. AI can be used only to help the teacher. It should not be the replacing one the teacher, because even at times the students fail to cater the individual needs. Like in the class of 30, student can't give uh, proper attention to each and every student. But if the with the help of AI, they can address, they can attend the quiz, they can get to know, yeah, these are their weak areas they can work upon. And then coming to literary review, the context which I have read through is that is first was the Office of Educational Technology, which has helped me to gain these insights. And the second which I refer was the book, that is the AI in Education, Assistant Teachers for Ensuring the Fairness. Next one was the education. This was basically a research paper, a practical approach. And the references I have mentioned, the resources which have been used. In a nutshell, I will say like Anything excessive use can be harmful. Same in the case of AI. And I will like to conclude it by saying that investment in education pays the best interest. So I personally feel like the schools and the educational institutions should invest in the AI so that the learning could pace better and they can easily, student can grow itself. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now I will request Dr. Amani to give feedback.
Yes, I would like to thank Dr. Arvinder Kaur and Ms. Gayatri Kumari for this interesting and important research about artificial intelligence in education, transforming learning and teaching. And you have dealt with now a priority topic that we all are handling in our jobs, and so you have adapted, the momentum and the significance of this issue right now. So you basically have indulged in how AI has the potential to enhance education by personalizing learning. Now, this is actually the area where I was most interested, and I really wished to read about it before this conference. So this conference is really adding to my knowledge, and I would like to thank really this conference administration for helping us to have insights and visions about new topics, about topics that we need to use and adapt in our jobs. So the adaptive learning systems are very important actually right now, and streamlining also administrative tasks and improve accessibility. All of these are important parameters for the success and for the quality of any education, university education or higher education right now. Only I wished that you have dealt with the postgraduate studies to see how this adaptive learning systems are significant, specifically and especially for the postgraduate studies, since they require more, including intelligent tutoring systems and learning management systems that are more complex than the other the bachelor or degrees, or even the high school education and so on. So what I wish to see in this research maybe to divide, the effect of AI in personalizing learning and the administrative tasks like exams, having doing the correcting the exams, blah blah, all of these different administrative tasks related to learning and also accessibility, to just divide them over different stages of learning, different stages of education. Maybe this would have led to more learning analytics and data-driven insights from this research. But this doesn't decrease any inch of the significance of this important research. It's just also wished that the authors would have referred to an area that's important here, which is the customized content and resources also and divide them over the different systems of education or different stages of education. I see that this research is an important one, and it will help the people in education to really get assisted with its results and recommendation. Thank you. Now I let my colleague comment over this important research.
Thank you, Dr. Amani. The
Welcome.
research is very good, but يعني the paper provides a detailed discussion of AI role in education, including the impact of teaching methodology, administrative tasks, accessibility, and personalized learning. I found also balanced analysis. The paper presents both the positive aspect of AI, for example, personalized learning, automation, and its challenges, like data privacy, bias, ethical concerns, and the ethical considerations are very important, also reinforcing the need for responsible AI integration in education. It's also focus on accessibility and equity. That the paper highlights how AI can bridge gaps in education, and this is very important, especially for students in areas and those with disabilities. It's very important point nowadays. But I have some points that while the paper mentions AI bias and ethical concerns, it doesn't provide an in-depth analysis of specific cases or solutions. We need solutions for this issue. It's also generalized statements without empirical support, that some claims, for example, AI increasing students' engagements by 30%, reference report, but don't provide detailed methodology here. My final evaluation that the paper presents a well-rounded discussion of AI in education with a strong literature review, support, and balanced view of opportunities and challenges. However, it would benefit from empirical research, a stronger theoretical foundation, and deeper ethical analysis. Thank you so much for you.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm sorry. So thank you so much, Dr. Amani and Dr. Lamia. So next
Thank you.
presenter is Dr. Ashish Kaul. Dr. Ashish. Dr. Ashish.
Hello, ma'am. This is Shefali. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are.
Actually, Ashish has written back to you about some illness. He's attending some patient, and it all happened last night. So he has emailed his presentation to you on the mail ID. If you want, I can present on his behalf, but the researcher is Ashish.
All right, ma'am. Then I think we can move to our next presenter, because if he is the presenter, he has written the paper, then
Yeah,
yes, Nilanka, ma'am.
and he has written about the emergency thing, because someone is very much so it was an immediate thing, totally unexpected.
And you are attending on his behalf, ma'am? You are his colleague?
I have done my presentation yesterday itself. Uh, he just messaged me that if it is necessary, just in case, will you present my presentation? So I said, if they will allow me, I will present. Otherwise, he has already mailed you his presentation.
Nilanka, ma'am, what do you have to say? Can we move on to the next? Nilanka, ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. I think we can have Shefali presentation.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Shefali, ma'am, please share the screen.
So this will be the last presentation, right?
No, we have Mr. Sharv also here.
Mr. Sharv is here?
Yes.
Can I request to take his presentation first? By that time, I'll arrange his presentation now.
Okay, so we'll have Mr. Sharf first then. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Sharf
much.
Dutt,
Yeah, no problem.
Mr.
Excuse
Sharf
me,
Dutt.
what's the title of this research that we are discussing now, presenting now? The title of the research?
Mr. Sharf Dutt is presenting a study on the use of AI. Mr. Sharf Dutt, can you please start sharing the screen?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, my presentation will be done by my two co-authors, Ms. Damita and Ms. Pragati.
Okay.
They are my students. Damita, Pragati, please present.
So, ma'am, their serial number is 3, and they are presenting on a study on the use of AI in today's educational scenario. And serial number 3, please note. And registration number is 19 A, B, and C.
Okay.
Ms. Pragati and Ms. Damita.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I'm not able to share the screen right now.
Okay, just a minute.
Because it is saying that host will be able to share the screen.
Just a minute.
I made you the co-host, Pragati. Please try.
Yes, ma'am. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Pragati, please present.
Is it visible?
No, ma'am.
No.
No, but give me 1 second.
You have 7 minutes, ma'am, because we have to start with the valedictory program as well.
Is it the final presentation or we have another presentation after it?
We have one more.
One more, okay.
Yes, and after this, we move to the valedictory session.
Okay.
So we'll not take a break. We'll straight away go to the valedictory.
We'll have a break, I guess, 15 minutes? Or we are
planning to move quickly to the valedictory session so that,
Okay.
we can wind up in time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ms. Pragati, are you able to share the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Meanwhile, I'll announce the name of the next participant. Nikki Pathak, are you there? Nikki Pathak?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Nikki Pathak, are you there?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, I'm Damita this side, the Damita from the show of the team. Can you please make me the co-host? Actually, there's some technical problem going on.
I just made you the co-host. Please try.
Ma'am, you have made Pragati the co-host. Made me Damita.
Nilaksha, ma'am, Damita.
Yeah, Damita, I've made her the co-host.
Damita, you are the host now, co-host.
Just a minute, ma'am.
Nikki Pathak, are you there?
Ma'am, is it visible?
Yes.
Yes, it's visible now, yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. We are honored to present our research paper on a study on the use of AI in today's educational scenario. I am Pragati, and with me is Tamita Khanna. Also, our study has been conducted under the guidance of our faculty, Mr. Shavdat. Through this presentation, we'll be explore how AI is transforming education, its benefit, challenges, and future implications. Okay, so we are the students of Rajasthani University pursuing BA BEd. Our research interests lie in exploring emerging
exploring interest in technologies in education. And this study is a result of our curiosity and about how AI is reshaping the learning experiences.
Artificial intelligence or AI is transforming education globally, from personalized learning experience to automated assessments. AI is making education more accessible and efficient. However, along with its benefit, it also raises concerns about privacy, accessibility, and ethical implications. Our study focuses on understanding how AI is currently used in education, its impact on students and teachers, and the challenges that come with it.
Now, let's discuss about the significance of paper. This research is significant because AI is no longer a future concept. It is already present in our classrooms. For students, AI tools offer personalized learning and instant feedback. For teachers, AI reduces workload by automating grading and the lesson planning. However, there's a lack of research on how AI is actually being used in real world classrooms. A study aims to bridge this gap by analyzing its benefits, limitations, and the way forward.
The objectives of our research are to analyze how AI is transforming traditional education, to examine the benefits and challenges of AI powered learning tools, to explore the role of AI in assisting teachers, to identify the ethical concerns and limitations associated with AI in education.
Now let's discuss about the paper. Our study investigates how AI is reshaping education by collecting insights from both students and teachers. We examined existing AI tools like smart learning platforms such as Duolingo or Google Classrooms, AI powered grading systems, virtual tutorials, and chatbots. We have also conducted a survey to gather first-hand opinions on AI roles in education.
Materials and methodology. For our study, we followed the mixed method approach. Quantitative data, we surveyed 30 students and 10 faculty members to understand their experiences with AI in learning and teaching. Then, qualitative data says that we conducted structured interviews to explore the challenges faced by educators while using AI. This combination of data helped us to gain a holistic view of AI's impact on education.
Now let's discuss the important findings and key holdings. Enhanced learning experiences, reduce teacher workload, challenges in accessibilities and privacy and ethical concerns.
Our study builds upon prior research in the field of AI and education. Some key references include Smith and Rodriguez, AI driven adaptive learning, which discusses AI powered personalized education. Then Kumar and Lee, the ethical dilemma of AI in the classroom, which raises concerns about data security and AI bias. While these studies provide a valuable insights, our research focuses specifically on current AI adoption trends and challenges in real educational settings.
Now let's discuss about the challenges and opportunities. AI both let's talk about opportunities first. Personalized learning, then we have AI assisted teaching, improved accessibilities, translation tools. Now let's talk about the challenges. High um, high cost of AI tools, privacy concerns regarding student data, need for teacher training to use AI efficiently.
To maximize AI's potential in education, we recommended teacher training programs. Educators should be trained to use AI responsibly. Better data privacy policies. Institutions must ensure secure AI systems to protect student information. Equal access to AI tools. Steps should be taken to bridge the digital divide so that AI benefits all the students.
Now, we would like to conclude. To summarize, AI is revolutionary education by offering personalized learning and reducing administrative workload. However, it comes with challenges like ethical concerns and accessibility issues. AI should be seen as a tool to assist educators, not replace them. The key successful AI adoption lies in the responsible implementation and continuous research.
We would like to end our presentation here with a thought provoking quote: AI will never replace great teachers, but AI in the hands of great teachers can be transformational. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pragati and Damita. Now I'll request Dr. Amani to please share her feedback.
Yeah, Dr. Lamia Sameh, would you like to start?
If you want to start, okay.
Yeah.
If you want me
No,
to start,
no,
it's
no.
okay.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I will follow you.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Damita and Ms. Sharp. I like the research. It's very strong research. The study topic is very important, that the impact of AI on the education, given the increasing integration of AI tools in learning. The topic is highly relevant, really. I found a clear structure and writing. The paper is well organized with a clear abstract outlining the key points. It effectively discusses both the benefits and challenges of AI in education. On the practical application, the paper highlights real world applications of AI in education, such as smart learning apps, virtual tutors, and automated grading. Also, I found a balanced discussion, that the researchers present both the advantages and limitations of AI in education, showing awareness of ethical concerns, AI bias, and the digital divide. This adds depth to the analysis. Uh, Also, the research methodology I like, because the mixed method approach, quantitative and quantitative and qualitative, it adds credibility too. The survey of students and faculty members provides empirical insights into AI impact on education. I just have some suggestion for improvement for the research, but the research is very strong. I really admire it. Just try to expand the sample size to improve representatives. Try to introduce a theoretical framework to ground the discussion. Deepen the discussion on AI ethics and its implications. Include recommendations of AI integration in education. Overall, the paper is excellent, presents a valuable discussion, but requires more depth in research methodology. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We will surely work on your suggestions. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Have a nice day too.
Over to Dr.
Thank
Amani.
you. Thank you, Dr. Lamia, for this
Thank you.
good commenting. And I would like to thank the authors, Ms. Damiata Khana and Dut Anand. I hope I pronounced it correct. Okay, now we have in hand here a good research paper, which has many strong points actually. The first thing is relevance and timeliness. The paper addresses a crucial and very, up-to-date topic, that given the increasing reliance on AI-empowered tools such as GPT and adaptive learning techniques, of course, systems, and automated grading in education as well. The second strong point about this paper also, which I value, which is a comprehensive literature review, analysis of the importance of the study. They gave a structure of a study that prepared us for the results that it brought up later on. So I like very much the structure of your paper. It's well organized, and it's you have a clear argument on AI's benefits. So you argued conveniently that AI is enhancing learning. I just have only 2 points that I wish to see in your paper. The first is that you underestimated the challenges like algorithms bias. Maybe if this can be added, that will be very enriching to the research. The second is having a more holistic approach. might be needed in such an important topic to handle. That's it.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for your insights
You're
and
welcome.
work on this.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Dr. Omani, and thank you, Damita and
You're
Pranati.
welcome.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, all of you.
Yeah, thank you. So, Shivani ma'am, due to time constraints, we will not be able to take the presentation. I hope you don't mind.
I understood. Just that, will it affect the participation rate? Because it is for Ashish's call. My presentation is done yesterday.
Ma'am, it won't affect. It won't affect because he has shared his PPT, right?
Yeah.
So that will be taken into consideration. So
Thank
no
you.
worries about that.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, so our next participant, Nikki Pathak. Nikki Pathak, DGMC 08. The registration number is 08. Nikki Pathak, are you there? I think she's not there. So the last participant is Suparna Chakrabarti.
Suparna ma'am couldn't come due to the change in time. So
all right, so that is it. So thank you so much, Dr. Amani and Dr. Ramia, and I request that
it's our pleasure, really.
Program. And now I hand over the session to Nilaksha ma'am.
hello, everyone. So now we move on to our valedictory session. We have Dr. Chandima, who is our valedictorian here with us. Hello, sir.
Hello. Yes.
Welcome, sir. I would hand over the session to Bhavya Kotian to take forward the valedictory session.
Thank you, Nilaksha ma'am. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the organizing committee, I, Bhavya Kotian, sincerely thank you all participants for joining and actively engaging in our two-day conference. Your presence and active participation has truly enriched our discussions and made this event a remarkable success. So over the course of this conference, we have delved deeply into the multifaceted relationship between AI and various sectors, from its impact on technology, business, governance, to its role in culture, sustainability, and creative industries. Now, as we approach our closing session, we shift our focus to a more profound and often overlooked dimension of AI, its relationship with spirituality, compassion, and humanity. It is my absolute pleasure to introduce our distinguished speaker for our final session, Dr. Chandima Gangodavila, Assistant Professor of Buddhist Philosophy at Ateneo de Manila. Serves as an Associate Editor of Journal of International Buddhist Studies, published by Mahachulalong Karnaraja Vidyalaya University in Thailand. Previously, he was a research fellow at the Center for Studies in Religion and Society at the University of Victoria, Canada. Held a position as Theravada Buddhist chaplain at the University of British Columbia, Vancouver, Canada from 2012 to 2016. His latest peer-review publication, The Function of Contemporary Role of Abandoning the Training Rules in Pali Canon, appeared in the Journal of Buddhist Ethics, published by Pennsylvania State University Press, USA. His research rigorously engages with Buddhist hermeneutics, Buddhist ethics, and contemporary, offering critical insights into the intersection of canonical interpretation and contemporary Buddhist thought. He is currently exploring monastic reforms in Sri Lanka with an upcoming article addressing the response to crimes committed by novice and senior monks. We are honored to have Dr. Gangodavila with us today. But before we get a chance to hear from him, let us take a moment to reflect on the insights we've gathered over the past 2 days. I would now like to invite Mr. Sanman Hudkekar, a student of MA Communication and Journalism first year at DGMC College, to present the report for day 1, 7th March 2025. Sanman, over to you.
Thank you so much, Bhavya ma'am. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I student coordinator of DGMC's IQAC. The Internal Quality Assurance Cell, the IQAC of DGMC, organized its fifth international conference on the 7th and 8th of March 2025 in collaboration with its international partner, Miss University of Science and Technology, academic partner Ladi Devi Ramdar Maheshwar Knight College of Commerce, and Lingaya's Lalita Devi Institute of Management Studies, along with the publication partner Gap Bodhitaru, a global journal of humanities. The conference was spread across 2 days and it began on 7th of March 2025 at 10 a.m. Indian Standard Time with a welcome address by Professor Divya Narantinna, Assistant Professor at DGMC, followed by the speeches from Sri Kailasji Kejriwal, the Honorary Secretary of our parent body, the Rajasthani Sammelan Education Trust, and then followed by Dr. Preeti Oza, Principal of LRMC, and Dr. Pranav Mishra, Director of LLDIMS, and Dr. Paul Martins, Associate Professor of Ethics at Baylor University in the United States, who highlighted the ethical implications of AI on human creativity. Later, Dr. Amani Oman from Miss University, Egypt, our keynote speaker, detailed her research paper on strategic marketing techniques and customer engagement, with AI emphasized on how AI helps brand identify customer engagements. Following a break, a panel discussion on balance, progress, and responsibility, the societal impacts of AI across disciplines, was moderated by Ms. Bhavya Kotian, featuring insights from Dr. Nestor and Dr. C. Babu, Dr. Aniruddha Babar, and Dr. Mr. Ravindra on AI's. Dr. Nestor, also a professor from Philippines, delivered an insightful presentation on how AI is being utilized to preserve cultural heritage. He explained how AI technologies are aiding the restoration of momentous of preservation and historical sites, ensuring that history is safeguarded for our future generations. His session highlighted the transformative role of AI in analyzing, reconstructing, and also conserving invaluable historical sites. Dr. Ravindra later shared valuable insights on integration of AI in CGI, that is computer generated imagery. He discussed how AI driven tools are streaming complex processes in various effects, making CGI work more efficiently and enhancing creative possibilities for the media and entertainment industry. Post the lunch, we had Mr. Ritesh Bhatia, who conducted a session on AI and ethics. He provided a compelling demonstration of AI's impact on digital security and privacy. He highlighted the rising concern of surrounding deep fakes, deep nudes, voice cloning, etc., showcasing real life examples to illustrate how these AI driven technology can be misused to manipulate media and other individuals. His session emphasized the urgent need for awareness and ethical responsibilities in the evolving digital media landscape. It was followed by the paper presentation from 10 of our participants, which were on various AI technology related topics. This was the day one of the conference that concluded with insightful sessions and transformative roles of AI in the society. Thank you so much, Bhavya ma'am. Over to you.
Thank you, Sanman. Now, I would like to invite Ms. Chetna Shastri, student of MA Communication DGMC, to present the report for day 2, 8th March 2025. Over to you, Chetna.
Thank you so much, Bhavya ma'am. The second day of the International Virtual Conference consisted of two panel discussions. The very first panel discussion was on generative AI in healthcare, technology, finance, and journalism. This session was moderated by Ms. Nilansha Sachdev and featured speakers such as Dr. Rajendra Patankar, Mr. Anil Bhandari, Dr. Dinesh Damodaran, and Mr. Priyadarshan. This session began with Dr. Patankar discussing AI's role in early disease detection, personalized medicine, surgical robotics, and ICU monitoring. He even highlighted challenges such as data privacy, algorithm bias, and need for human oversight, emphasizing that AI should be an enabler and not a replacement for medical expertise. Dr. Dinesh Damodaran later focused on AI in supply chain management, explaining how AI improves demand forecasting, route optimization, inventory management, and predictive maintenance. He emphasized artificial intelligence's ability to analyze customer behavior and enhance logistics as well as business decision making. Mr. Anil Bhandari later spoke on AI's impact on business and professional growth, referencing advancements in robotics, AI-driven agriculture, and humanoid interactions. He highlighted the evolution of technology from compulsion to obsession and ultimately an immersive experience with augmented and virtual reality. Mr. Priyadarshan later took a critical stance, warning that AI is not just an enabler, but if not dealt with caution, can be a disruptive force in the field of media and journalism. It was emphasized through him that AI plays major role in shaping content trends, inherent biases, and loss of objective reporting, arguing that human intervention remains crucial. Later on, we had another panel discussion, which was on artificial intelligence in humanities, transforming teaching, education, and research. This was moderated by Dr. Jisha Vijay, and this session featured speakers like Dr. Kulvini Trehan and Dr. Somaya Rani. So, Dr. Kulveen began this session with emphasizing that AI should be an assistive, not a generative tool, particularly in critical thinking and writing. She even stressed on the importance of AI literacy in education, arguing that students should maintain academic integrity while using AI for research. While Dr. Soumya Rani highlighted that AI's evolution was earlier an elite technology and now it has become an everyday tool, referencing Alan Turing and major historical advancements. She even introduced large language models and prompt engineering, warning that AI retrieves rather than generate knowledge, and that future generations may lose access to authentic information due to AI's dominance. Later on, these discussions were followed by technical paper presentations. These sessions were chaired by phenomenal maestros in Dr. Salim Javed, Dr. Amani Omar Al Husseini, Dr. Shweta Gaur Sharma, and Dr. Lamia Sameh Al Sayed. These sessions were under two umbrella topics, which were AI in healthcare, society, and sustainability, as well as AI in research, education, and learning. In total, 12 papers were presented on the second day, and they showcased emerging research, advancements, and ethical challenges, as well as applications. Thank you so much. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Chetna. I thank both students for encapsulating the key moments and discussions of our conference. Thank you. Now, let us open our minds and hearts as we embark upon this thought-provoking journey as we hear from our Valadima Gangodivilla. Please, sir.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Assistant Professor Bhavya, and especially Dr. Ami, who invited me with the support of Dr. Preeti Oza from University of Mumbai. And I know that this conference is collaborated by many colleges and universities, including MISR, LRMC, GGSIPU, and GAPO Ditaru. I mean, the title, when I look at the title, it's not about that we argue about whether we want to go by the artificial intelligence or not. I think all the presentations that may have been happening since yesterday up until now must have looked at how to go with artificial intelligence by promoting one's own, what do you call, interdisciplinary aspects of, their own subjects. So my task here is actually bringing you into another dimension about this topic. I mean, how to go with AI with compassion, responsibility, and awareness. So first of all, I wanted to be thankful to all these organizing members and actually giving me an opportunity to talk as a valedictorian over here. Okay, so let me go to the presentation. The ethics of AI from a spiritual perspective, compassion, awareness, and responsibility. Just to get by the time, I think now is, I think how long am I having for the presentation? 20 minutes, right? Okay, I had to be with that time, right? Compassion, awareness, and responsibility aspects of AI. I'm not going to pick up a certain religious tradition, rather looking at it from a basic spiritual perspective. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, and I have 30 slides. I'm not going to read all that. I'm going to recap certain areas of this topic. First of all, I want you to look at the opportunities. I think we all agree with regard to the opportunities. we understand that AI has been impacting in many ways. Societies have been so much impacted everywhere in the world, and we understand healthcare aspects and then automobile industry and education tools. I think most of us are educators, and we have to now be very careful, because when we are giving an assignment title to students, when we are giving a research topic for students to write a thesis, we know that compared to 10, 15 years ago, students write in a very academic, in a very rigorous way, because they have these AI tools. Then we have to know AI much better to really understand whether they are creating this automation to write, or whether they are trying to do research in today's world. Next slide. And we understand that AI can still be developed with regard to the human well-being, not even human well-being, well-being of everybody. As you can see that although there are certain aspects that have been developed in terms of healthcare, still there are more opportunities to actually be worked on, such as diagnosis aspects of healthcare, that is to detect, prevent certain diseases, sicknesses to go haywire in anybody. And also accessibility tools for disabilities, speech to text and those kind of things. And at the same time, disaster management aspects. So still, I mean, while we are very happy about AI, at the same time, we certainly hope that AI can really do a better job in the future with regard to all of your methodologies and the research that we've been seeing. There are challenges. What are the challenges? Now, we know that in today's world, if you go to a certain hiring website, uh, any other such web portals, they are using certain algorithms in terms of hiring and policing. It might be good, but is it the only way that employers can really detect a potential good employee? So we see a certain systematic discrimination sometimes. And what about the surveillance concern, especially policing, law enforcement? I mean, are our data safe? Are they are really with the right people? Are they are really in the hand of the right people? Or there may be certain events, those websites, those law enforcement individuals are trying to apologize. Your data is, they are in the hand of different people. So definitely there should be more surveillance must happen. And what about job displacement? Due to automation, we know that many industries have been affected. So how to go hand in hand with human work and this automation? I mean, how to differently, get the maximum use of automation at the same time, real humans, and also healthcare diagnosis and judicial sentencing. Uh, there are certain areas to be developed with regard to AI, but still AI has been doing a good job. And you can see autonomous weapons, predictive policing, and financial decisions. There are challenges still with regard to AI, but more or less, we can see a lot of developments. Okay, this is the part. Can spirituality foster ethical AI transformation? Now, when we think about spirituality, now, in today's world, there are people who might say, we don't want to be religious, but we are spiritual people. So then, what is this being spiritual? How does this being spiritual really relate to AI platforms, especially with regard to the people who are using AI? The role of spirituality in providing deeper moral guidance beyond legal and technical consideration. They have to really consider legality and technicality, but time to time, those people who are working with AI, those people who are programming AI, could think about certain higher ways, certain different ways to bring spirituality, not in a way to discriminate anybody, not in a way to ask people to be religious. Rather, when we are looking at our own spirits, this could really bring us a certain healthy, holistic, wholesome background to AI use. Okay, how do I bring these spiritual values into this AI concept? I believe that there is a role that the religious and spiritual communities can play, especially in shaping AI ethics. You may have seen that sometimes ago, the Roman Church, Roman Catholic Church in the Vatican, they issued a certain AI kind of a mandate. And even I believe that religious institutions, they can think about not just only sticking into their fundamental religious perspectives, can think about the world has been changing. Why don't we think about our religious practices and how we can bring our religious thoughts, philosophical thoughts, spiritual thoughts into this AI use? How can somebody use AI with some spiritual aspects? It's not that someone has to promote their own religion or spirituality, rather than using certain aspects like compassion, wisdom, respect, and those things. And bridging spirituality with AI governance. I mean, say for instance, all of a sudden, 500 workers are going to be laid off. Now, how to look at it from a compassionate perspective? I mean, probably there will be a certain profit loss happening in 5, 6 years. So how to look at that profit loss by, I mean, making sure that we want to think about the well-being of these people who are going to be laid off accordingly. How to do it? Are we going to keep half of them, and half of them going to be laid off? I mean, they can bring about certain aspects of compassion rather than maybe empathy, rather than thinking just go by with the numbers, and encouraging interdisciplinary collaboration, like exactly what you are doing here for the 2 days. You are bringing all these economics, political science, and all that into this in terms of technologies, ethicists, and spiritual leaders, to have a roundtable, forums, discuss what can we do together into one platform. Compassion. Compassion, according to our understanding, is going beyond empathy. We are trying to put us in other people's shoes, especially those moments of suffering. And compassion is a larger, broader version of empathy. So with regard to AI, there are moments, events where people are going to go through lots of pain with regard to AI's activities. Even you take social media, are people going to take their life just because they are very unhappy, frustrated about what's happening? So how to bring compassion on AI platforms into these people who are having a hard time? There are many examples. I think depending on the time, I'm not going to read all that. I will only read the name and then the example. AI in healthcare, we have to bring compassion over efficiency. A legal and technical system, sorry, the previous slide, please. A legal and technical system might approve an AI-driven decision to discontinue life support based on medical data. But spiritual perspectives may encourage considering the patient's dignity, family values, and emotional well-being. Think a little bit more. And then over to the next slide, please. AI in hiring, rather than, just go by the algorithm, also going to think about personal growth, ethics, long-term fulfillment. Automation and job displacement. A business legally automating jobs might still choose to provide retraining support to displaced workers inspired by values of compassion. So compassion can be brought up into challenging situations that can happen through AI. AI and privacy. You can see facial recognition technology for security still limit its use out of respect for individual dignity. They can, so those companies, those platforms can still think about how to bring more ethics over surveillance all the time while having surveillance. Warfare, military AI could efficiently neutralize threats, but spiritual teachings on non-violence and compassion challenge the ethics of delegating warfare to machines. And think about when they are preparing AI-based warfare stuff, bringing certain kinds of compassion perspective. I mean, how are they going to be utilized in the warfield? Yeah, social media, we understand that, Social media can maximize the use of AI, but a spiritual approach would prioritize fostering genuine relationships, thinking that why should I spend more time? I will use some time, but at the same time, I have to be, interacting with my family members, social structure. So I have to, AI should promote a balanced perspective. Okay, so you can understand that there are certain other case studies of compassionate action with regard to AI. AI has been doing something with regard to compassion. AI-powered diagnostic tools, and then mental health chat box, AI-driven disaster response. They're still doing something, but my suggestion is they should be able to elevate, enhance further aspects of compassion. Awareness part, second is awareness. So first is compassion, second is awareness. So definitely mindfulness, self-awareness part they are very important in ethical decision making and making us very aware about what we are doing with AI. You can see that it's really helping society, economy, relationships, right? And social media algorithms, AI-based. Now, we understand in today's world, a lot of people are looking for their relationships, even marriage through certain matchmaking systems. Are they really good? I mean, we are not saying that they are bad, but how to bring about certain awareness? Sometimes people are scammed, through these systems. So how to bring about certain awareness for those people who are going to look for virtual relationships, probably going for an arranged marriage, probably going for even certain other relationship, different relationship models in today's world, even sugar daddy, sugar mom concept in some countries. They are bringing AI into help people finding these people. The problem is that are the people who are using these platforms really going into their purposes, or are they getting into a lot of criminal problems as it? So I think definitely we have to people who are creating AI have to make people aware about the pros and cons of all these. And we can see, AI can develop awareness through climate models, educational platforms, accessibility tools. And at the moment, we understand there are AI ethics reviews done by Google, Microsoft, and explainable AI is done by IBM, AI explainable 362 toolkit, AI impact assessments, you can see AIA and all that. Still there are things in place, but there are a lot to be done actually. Responsibility is our last aspect of spiritual aspect to AI. Everybody who is creating AI platforms, who are using AI platform, who are monitoring AI platform, should take a responsibility so that the use of AI will be more wholesome. I'm saying that these are the responsible groups. Developers, you can see, OpenAI, let's say, corporations, governments, and users like us. Okay, let's take developers. I mean, what are their responsibilities? Ethical, they are supposed to adopt ethical AI principles, mitigate bias, ensure explainability, conduct ethical AI audits, build AI for social good. I think these are important for them to really focus on in terms of being responsible in creating a holistic approach with regard to the overall plan, overall purpose of AI using. What about cooperation? There are different other responsibilities that they are supposed to carry. AI ethics boards, AI impact assessments, AI accountability, prioritize user privacy and security, transparency. So if they are really taking care of these parts, I hope that there will be a more holistic aspect with regard to spiritual aspect of responsibilities. Governments, definitely, legislation part, enforcing AI risk assessments, protect consumer rights, ethics education, especially with regard to schools, universities, international collaboration, especially with regard to international organizations, even government aspects. And finally, users like us. I mean, how can we take a responsibility in using AI? Or are we just trying to make it as an open activity? Or are we really trying to use it with some carefulness, some mindfulness, some compassion? So we always have to choose ethical AI services, being informed, report AI bias and unfair practices, engage in AI policy discussions, and use AI consciously. This is very interesting, especially with regard to academic world, to avoid plagiarism, to avoid, writing something, really with regard to academic without actually taking somebody else's things and taking the credit. Yeah. Key takeaways. AI is not separate from ethics, but stronger oversight is needed. That's number one with regard to spirituality. And what spirituality is bringing forward to AI is that we need a stronger oversight as AI rapidly evolves. Spiritual wisdom for ethical AI is important too, like mindfulness, compassion, ethical living. Ethical living is very important. Most of the religions, philosophies, spiritual traditions talk about it because with regard to AI, misbehavior, some crimes can happen. So definitely we, as users, those who are creating AI things, they should, take, a good emphasis. They should place an emphasis about this part, spiritual wisdom part. Second, awareness, as I said, then responsibility, which we just discussed. Finally, before we finalize, technology with regard to AI shapes the world. There's no question about it. But ethics shapes technology. The problem is that how much can virtual platforms be virtuous? So virtuality and ethics, or maybe virtues. What is the importance of ethics? What is the importance of spiritual tradition with regard to the ethics? So when lot of information, most of our information, security data, passport information, our personal information with regard to health, when they are going to be on a database structure, then everybody who are supposed to take care of this information, who are trying to maintain, who are trying to liaison, they definitely need to think about ethics side too, because somebody's very important information are with them. So that's why, spiritually speaking, we need to bring these three aspects into AI as much as possible, from user aspects, cooperation aspect, government aspects, and content creator aspects. So then definitely let's think that compassion, awareness, responsibility will make up for a better AI use in the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. You have shown us a unique perspective that is rarely discussed when technology is in the forefront of a conversation. Dr. Chandima highlighted that AI is more than just technology and it's a human issue. As AI reshapes healthcare, education, we must ground its development in compassion, awareness, and responsibility. And now I would like to request Ms. Nilangsha Sachadev to share the journal, and I would like to request Dr. Ami Vora, Principal DGMC, and the conference convener for her thoughts and closing remarks on the conference. Nilangsha ma'am?
Yes, I'm sharing the journal. Just 1 minute. So this is the website where our journal is now listed. It's the special issue. As we click download, we have our journal here. It is titled as Artificial Intelligence in Interdisciplinary Studies. I would congratulate every single person who has submitted their paper in the journal. That congratulations to you that the journal has been printed. The papers will be gradually uploaded. They are going through a review process, and gradually each and every paper will be uploaded. So thank you so much, everyone, and congratulations to all of you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this intuitive and insightful conference. It was really one of the most useful conferences that I have joined, both virtually and in person. And thank you for publishing my foreword. It's kind of you, and looking forward to participate with you next year, inshallah. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
Amima, yes, ma'am. Amima, a few words, please.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. At the outset, we have had two interesting days full of very good speakers, resource people. Dr. Chandima, thank you for sharing your insights on spirituality and the perspectives. It was a very apt end for this wonderful 2-day conference that we had. At the outset, I would like to my heartfelt gratitude on behalf of the management and our president, Shri Ashokji Saraf, to all the resource people and to all the experts, to the academicians, to the research paper presenters, to all those scholars who have got their papers published in this journal for a very eventful 2 days. Your interactions actually made the conference more juicy. And that is what is, I feel, very important. It's not a one-way traffic. We would like to, ask questions and, also inform answers. Yes, there are participants who are asking us, what about the certificates? And yes, your certificates will be sent to you within a week. They'll be emailed to you as per your participation, your presentation and publication. We will be writing all that in the certificate. So please give us that much of time and leeway. We will send them to you before 1 week. Okay, give us 7 days time to process and do everything. We also need to ensure that your names are spent correctly on the certificate. So after we have a complete cross check, we will be mailing the certificates to you all. I hope that has answered the queries raised by a couple of participants. I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to the entire conference committee, head by Nilangshna Sachdev ma'am, Divya ma'am, Dr. Nisha, Dr. Jisha, and Bhavya ma'am for navigating and arranging such wonderful resource speakers, for ensuring that we have great participation in this conference. My gratitude to our collaborators for laying faith in us that we are going to put up this conference very well. Yes, Amani ma'am, we would like to associate ourselves not on a yearly basis, more on a regular basis. Dr. Chandima, we would also like to associate with your college and your university for more academic collaboration and not restrict ourselves just to conference collaboration. Let us have some healthy faculty exchanges and dialogues with your students, and you can have some dialogues with our students, and I think that would be a more enriching experience. I would also like to express my gratitude to the IT team of Rajasthani Sammelan Education Trust for lending us the IT support across both these days, and for all those who have attended this conference and made it a grand success. Thank you. Thank you very, very much from all of us here. Namaskar. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Nilangshna Sachdev to deliver the vote of thanks to close the event. Thank you, all of you, for your participation, and have a lovely rest of your day.
So as I reach the end of the event, from my entire team here at DGMC, I would like to thank every single person who was a part of this event, the participants, the paper presenters, the publishers. On behalf of Rajasthani Sammelan Education Trust, I would like to thank our president, Shri Ashokji Saraf. A heartfelt gratitude to him for helping us put up this conference. First and foremost, I would also like to express my sincere thanks to our valedictorian, Dr. Chandima, for being there in the event and enlightening us on the spirituality aspect. I would also like to thank our partners, Faculty of Mass Media from Misra University, Science and Technology, Dr. Lamia and Dr. Amani. Thank you so much for putting up with us. I have been constantly calling you and been in touch with you. Also, thank you to the other partners, gratitude to the other academic partners, that is Department of Journalism and Mass Communication at Lingaya's Lalita Devi Institute of Management and Science, RSET's Lati Devi Rambhar Maheshwari Knight College of Commerce for their unwavering support, and also a special thanks to GAP Bodhi Taru Journal, the Global Journal of Humanities, for helping us publish so fast and for helping in reviewing the papers in such a speed, actually. So thank you so much. And I would also like to thank our entire teaching, non-teaching, IT staff, our IT team. Sadesh, thank you so much for helping us put up this event and the smooth execution of this event. I know there were some ups and downs, but still, it's technology. It can backfire at any time. So thank you so much, everyone, for being a part of this event. And I hope to see you soon in either the next FDP or the next conference or even any other event that we may have. Thank you. And Principal Ma'am, thank you so much for giving me this responsibility, and trusting in me that, and trusting in the entire team that we all can put up this show. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a good evening and have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
The participants to sign out. We will send your certificates by the end of the week, next week.